Welcome back to the MN Talk Show, everybody. Today is a special day. We have a special guest. One of my friends, one of my good friends, I would say, a mentor to me in my business, Angela Troxel.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Welcome
you're
aboard.
welcome. Thanks for coming on. Angela is a world-renowned, I would say almost world-renowned, real estate agent.
No.
Entrepreneur, podcast host, investor. You're a Swiss Army knife of everything. So tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of where you're from. Who are you? Like, who is Angela? How'd you kind of get into everything?
Okay, so I am from Robbinsdale, Minnesota,
Okay.
small town. Just kidding.
I think it's a little bigger than a small town.
No, it's huge. It's right on the border of Minneapolis. So yeah, you said how I got into real estate?
How did you, what was life growing up like as a kid, like Robbinsdale,
Yep.
Getting able to go to school, like what was school like? Did you have parents in real estate or?
So actually, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, which I really love, and then eventually got into financial advising. So I got lucky that my brother was this real estate entrepreneur, like investor, and then my mom was the stock person. So I kind of got to see it from both sides, and I'm always really interested in like business stuff. So yeah, oh my gosh, I need to. I don't know why I'm freaking out. Okay,
It's different, like being on a podcast and hosting a podcast.
when I'm hosting my podcast, it's so easy. I'm like, this is easy.
Yeah.
Okay, re-ask the question.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
So you went to Robbinsdale. What was life growing up like at home? Were your parents together? Were they split? What was life like that?
So my parents have been married for 42 years.
Jeez.
So,
Good for them.
Yeah.
High
And
school sweethearts?
right after high school,
Okay,
my mom saw my dad at Anoka Tech College.
Really?
And was like, wow. So he
Get it.
was a master electrician and owned his own business. So I was able to see what it was like as like a kid of a business owner.
Yeah.
And he had his business for 40 years. He just stopped it about 2 months ago.
Really?
So he just retired.
Good for him.
him.
Congrats.
And then, my mom was a stay-at-home mom for a long time and then started working as a receptionist in financial stuff. And she could have been a financial advisor, but she didn't want to have all the risk or like everyone
That
else's
pressure
money,
on
the
her.
pressure.
Yeah.
So she just, because she has her master's, so she could have done it. But
Right.
she just wanted to like work at the office and kind of dabble in that stuff. So yeah, my parents were married for a long time, grew up in Robbinsdale, went to Armstrong High School. Then eventually I was so sick of the city life and I just moved all the way out to St. Michael because I love like a little bit more peace and quiet, not so many people.
Not technically like the city, but it's like not technically the country either. And
Yes.
when did you move out there? Was it?
So we slowly were going out. It was Plymouth, Maple Grove, Rogers, and then St. Michael. And along the way, I made smart investment like decisions with houses I was in so that I could use them as investment properties along the way.
Good to know.
So yeah.
That's
You
awesome.
didn't sell the homes then? You just kept
We
them?
sold our Rogers house because it was a single family home, and we have been really good at using townhouses as rental investment properties. So we wanted to stick with that. And I like the idea of having an association taking care of stuff too. So we
Makes
didn't-
it easier on the renters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we also wanted to finally build because we did do the cheapest houses we could along the way until I was like, I'm ready to build my house. I have my 2 kids. I want to finally do new construction.
Right.
And so our Rogers house, we were only there for 2.5 years and we made $175,000 off of it.
Are you kidding me?
Jeez.
Did you do any like special remodels or was it just you
They
paid
really
it
did
off good or?
anything. So like we did have to put, I think 20% down because we're investors.
Yeah.
Right.
So we did have to put a certain amount down. We did buy our rate down and we got it down to 2 points. Or no. Yeah. We refinanced, got it down to 2.75. So we were just paying off more every
Yep.
month. But it literally was just because the market went up so much.
What
And
year was this in?
we
2019?
bought in 2019 and we sold in 2022, the
Okay.
spring.
Yeah.
And that's another thing we bought in the fall and then we sold in
So
the spring.
it's so simple and
It's so
it just
simple.
flies over people's
And it
heads.
does. And I
Yeah.
even tell my first time home buyers who are looking and they just like are in the spring doing the multiple offer thing, I'm like, let's just wait till the fall. Like if you
Literally.
can go month to month. Let's plan this out. You're most likely not going to have as much competition in the fall, but you
Right.
are going to have less homes to see.
Right. So it's like a trade-off. I mean,
trade-off.
it's a win-loss scenario, I guess, in my eyes.
We always buy our rentals in the fall and winter too.
So you sold a home with a 7% interest rate.
Yeah.
Was that scary?
But like I feel like if you call up somebody that wants to sell their home, they're like, well, we have a 2.5% interest rate.
Yeah.
We're not moving.
Oh, not me. I am very adverse. Like I love risk.
Yeah, gives you the adrenaline.
It gives
rush.
me
You're ready to
adrenaline,
go.
and I know the more risk I take, the more money I can make. Obviously, something can go wrong, but we're insiders.
Oh yeah.
So we have that advantage. We could use our commission towards like the payment,
Yeah.
and stuff. So I'm like, there's no way. I was like, my house appreciated this much in less than 3 years. Like this is my chance to take that 175 of equity and put it as a down payment for new construction.
Like that payment, if you put 175 grand down on a new construction, like your new construction, like you're able to buy down your rate and get all these other fun stuff.
We did that.
So.
We did buy down our rate. So yeah, we went from 2.75 to, it was like they were offering like a 5.7. And then we bought it down to 5.3, I think. 11 grand.
Big win.
Goodbye.
Yeah, seriously.
That's huge, though.
Yeah, my husband couldn't sleep at night though. I would have kept the 5.7 and then like used it for more rental properties, but he couldn't sleep at night knowing that we'll have this way bigger payment, so let's buy it down a little bit.
Whatever. You got to find a happy medium with him.
We
at
do.
some
That's
point.
we work together, and it's funny because like one day I'll be like, "Oh, let's like not do that," and then he's like, "Let's do it," and then the next time I'm like, "Let's do it," and he's like, "No."
So you guys are truly opposites attract.
We are opposite.
Really?
crazy.
Where did he grow up?
Another opposite. Small town, Spring Green, Wisconsin. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Like take your tractor to school day, and I grew up like graduating with 600 people in my class.
Yeah.
Jeez. How'd you guys meet?
In real estate class, it was like talking about loans and stuff, and it was just like a class at KW that they were teaching.
Yeah. And he just happened to be there. And what made him come over from Wisconsin to here? Because I believe that's like super deep into Wisconsin, though.
It
like
is
right in the
super
middle
deep.
of Wisconsin.
Yes, no one knows where that is.
Yeah, I feel like
How do you know?
I've got a brother that plays lacrosse out there. So like
okay.
he goes back and forth, and I've been out there a couple times.
Oh, that's
so,
funny.
Yeah.
Like every time I say Spring Green, they're like, "Oh,
Where's that?
an hour west of Madison."
Yeah.
That's all I say.
Yeah, I think
I
we
was
drove
bad
through it
joke
maybe
where it
once or
was.
twice. So.
I don't even know where it is. To tell you the truth, I just know it's far.
Yeah.
And so, wait, what was your question?
Why did he come here instead of like staying out in Wisconsin?
So his parents and grandparents were from here, this
Okay.
area. So his parents moved back up here to be with like the aunts and uncles and cousins, and he came along too. And he actually got his business degree down there in Menominee Stout.
Okay.
And then he was working at Walmart as like the head manager there, and he was just so miserable.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm going to drop it all, go get my real estate license, go up to Minnesota, live with my parents, and start there. And then,
Good for him. Then it was just
Wow.
from there on, it was perfect.
yep, he started on a team. And then when I started real estate, luckily I had such a big like sphere and friends and family that right when I started, I was so busy that 3 months into starting, I asked him if he'd come help me.
So he was like your team member at that point?
was my team member. 3
That's
months.
funny.
Jeez.
So when
3
did you-
months in.
Yeah, 4
Yeah.
months in.
I was gonna
That's
say
great.
He was still on a team, but he was helping me with
Oh,
everything.
that's
because
whatever.
I just
under the table work, right?
yeah.
That's
Don't
perfect.
tell
Oh, yeah, no, it was going. I paid off his Jeep right when we got married, so it went towards him anyway.
That's
so.
worth it.
Yeah,
I would go help somebody with their transaction if they were going to pay off my car. Like,
Well,
sure.
when he met me, one of
Yeah.
the first conversations we had, he was like, "Is there anything that's changed your life?" I'm like, "Yeah, reading this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by
Yep.
Robert Kiyosaki."
I'm
He's
actually
like,
like 3/4 through it right now. It's so good.
I listen to it every 6 months or so to get myself back in the zone.
Yep.
And so he was like, "That's my favorite book too." And then I was like, "Yeah, I actually have a rental property." And then he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna marry you."
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. So it's like opposites attract, but you had just one thing in common that
Yep.
like just happened to click.
Yeah.
That's funny.
funny.
When did you actually get licensed or like go through your classes, and how long did that process take, and like where'd you end up?
So super funny. Like I am a procrastinator at school, very bad. And I was working at 2 emergency rooms in the metro. So I was doing it online, and I took a whole year to do it online. And then I went to go take my test, and they were like, "Oh, you missed the deadline." So I had to like retake a course again,
Oh my god.
retake my courses again.
Oh my gosh, that's kind of like what I had to do too. I remember I would call him because I had kind of the same thing. I just like procrastinated for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then my deadline came up, and I'm like, Nate, I got to retake everything, and he's like, well, sorry, dude. You know, I can't do it.
I
Yeah,
get
I
it,
did.
yeah.
I just
Which is funny because everything in life I'm like always like
Exactly.
Never like that. So with that school though,
I hate school.
I was the worst student in the world.
Did you went to college because you worked at a hospital, correct?
I got my EMT. So
Oh, okay. So I guess.
I did go though. I basically could have my bachelor's degree. I'm 1 credit away, and it is math, and I refuse. I don't even want it anymore. And
You're fine.
well,
You
like
don't
my
need it.
parents pushed college. You know that
Yep.
age pushed college on you so much, and nowadays it's not the same.
No.
And my kids, like my son, is like, "What should I do?" I'm like, "If you don't go to college, I'll kind of be happy actually."
Yeah.
Like I'm not against it for some people, but
Agreed.
for him for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, because he's an athlete and like
He's an
you know
athlete.
doesn't love school as much as some other people do. Yeah, I wonder kind of like what is it like raising kids nowadays? Like, is it hard? Is it obviously not the same as when you
really-
grew up?
He's
But
a really easy kid.
yeah,
So he gets along with everybody. Every day comes from school. I'm like, did anything happen today? Was anybody mean to you? No, Mom. I'm like, do you have any enemies? Nope. I like everyone. He likes everyone everywhere. And then
Yeah.
like when I meet other moms, they're like, hi, Noah's mom. And I'm like, I don't know who you are. And they're like, your son is my son's best friend. I'm like, I've never heard of you before. You know what I mean?
he's
Like,
just best friends with
he's friends with
everybody.
everyone.
Yeah,
So he's a super easy kid. I did keep him. I didn't let him have a phone until he was 13. His baseball coach
Good.
made him have a phone. So, and he doesn't have social media. I keep
Okay.
him off all that. He's
How old
starting
is he?
14.
good.
He's starting driver's ed this month.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Yeah, I had him when I was 21, so it was a very unexpected thing.
Yeah, but you know, it is what it
Unexpected,
is.
beautiful surprise.
Yeah.
Works out
So,
good.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's fun. Is it hard for you like to see all these other parents like giving their kids phones or like cuz I didn't get a phone until I was 15, 16 and
It's
like
Really?
yeah. And it's just I feel like it's a
It's
a
very
rare thing almost to like not give their kid a phone when they're 8 years old.
It's hard because my son would beg me and say all of his friends they had it. Kids were having it in 2nd grade.
Yeah.
And 3rd grade and 4th grade. And then and so my son was like, why won't you? Every kid has, but I'm lucky again. He's super easy. So he'd ask me like once every 3 months. And then I'm like, if it's my daughter, it's every 5 minutes.
Well, she's like a byproduct of you,
She
isn't
is
she?
my mini me. And we go like this. We're best friends.
Yeah.
And every night we're like cuddling together. But during the
Right.
day,
You just
Just
plot
head to
heads.
head.
oh yeah, 'cause she is. Even we went to the dentist yesterday, and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna put this glue in your tooth." She's like, "No, you're not." And then the dentist was like, "Okay," and set it down. And then she's like, "I'm gonna put this glue in your tooth now." And she's like, "No, you're not." And so the dentist had to sneak it in and around. And I'm like, if I was 5, I would have never told the dentist no.
Right?
No, I'd be like,
Like,
okay.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. How old
No,
is
you're
she?
not.
5.
Oh my god, 5. You got your hands full with that one.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's fun. So yeah, back. How old were you when you got your real estate license?
I was 20. How old am I? 36. 28, I think.
Okay.
2015, the very end, and I should have had it like a year before. but
Yeah,
I-
that's true. You just procrastinated.
How'd you start? Like, how'd you get your first rental?
My first one, actually, so I'm really lucky. I had my brother, and I was the single mom, and he was such a good mentor for me. And he would tell me, hey, before you buy your first house, buy a rental property. I promise it will pay off. You get in this mindset of like saving, doing whatever you need to do. I was working double shifts at the hospital, and I was overnight in Robbinsdale, North Memorial ER. And I got my first rental from literally putting down the bare minimum FHA 3.5. And then like I lived there for 2 weeks, because to get a loan, you have to live there
Yep.
for a little bit. And then I like got it up to par and then went back home and lived with my parents and then rented it out. And then the next one, after that, you have to do the 20% down, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
So after that, that's what I did for the other ones. But that's how I got my first.
That's how you got the first one.
I was so broke though. Like when I closed on that,
Yeah.
I didn't have money for a washer and dryer to put in that unit.
Really?
So I had to like work doubles, and then put a washer and dryer in there and then get renters in.
Huh.
And I relied on like $1,000 in my bank account after it.
Whatever you got to do,
Yeah.
right? And now look at where you are, right? Like
Jeez.
5 rental properties now and your own house. What is the process like? I mean, obviously trying to get investment properties is like a huge hot topic right now as everybody wants them. I guess what would be like your biggest tip for somebody that wants to buy a rental property or like use it for their first, investment property?
My biggest tip would be to find one of the cheapest. Since I do townhouses, cheapest townhouse you can find. But it's got to be able to make sense. Right now, it's a little bit harder to make sense. Like,
Right.
I would buy the cheapest townhouse with the low association dues, live there for a year or two while I'm building up 20% for my next one, and do that a couple times.
Okay.
Or I would do the duplex or the fourplex thing where they just passed that financing thing where you can buy a duplex or a fourplex with
How awesome is
5%
that?
down.
Yeah.
Way less than you needed to. Yeah, I think it's 5% is the lowest.
I forget.
It's like for a certain number of units. It's like
Yeah.
fourplex is 5%, sixplex is like 10, and then so on and so forth.
If I was a single guy and didn't have a kid,
Yeah.
I would 100% buy a duplex or fourplex. Do it that way.
I'm working on it. Don't worry about it. All right?
All
I'm
right,
working
I'm
on it.
just letting
Before
you
you do anything else, do that.
Yeah, it's worth it, huh?
Yep.
Okay. What about like the location on everything? Do you think the location matters for
Yes,
where you're going to do
for
that kind of
sure.
stuff?
Mm-hmm.
What
Prime
would,
spot.
yeah.
Where is it?
Prime spot.
Yeah.
Well, our best rental has been Maple Grove, but we're doing really good everywhere we are. We're in Monticello. We do good out there. We were in two in Otsego. Do really good there. St. Michael, really
Yeah.
good. And you guys, the first one I bought for $123,000.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a 4-bedroom.
What?
Yeah.
what?
What?
In when was it? 2015?
2015. I bought it the year before. I bought it like 8 months before I was a real estate agent.
Oh my gosh. Good for you.
Yeah.
123,000. I don't even think
For a
you can
4
find
bed?
So I'm so lucky. Like the first couple we bought were really good. And my brother, he is such like he just wants to bring value to everyone. So like there's been a couple of times where I'm like, hey, when I'm ready to buy another one, and he would give me one of his for super cheap and would take out both sides of the real estate. And then like I bought one from him in Otsego for $145.
Oh my gosh.
And then he built a brand new construction townhouse. He built 6 of them in Monticello and gave it to let every real estate agent in our office buy one from him first before he put it out to
So
anyone
he's
else.
really big on like helping everybody get into investing because he
those
knows that's
6?
where the money's at.
Yep, those
Yeah.
6 are all owned by real estate agents in our office.
Really? And they're all just
Well,
rental properties?
Sorry, one of them was my friend that bought one too.
Oh,
so
okay. Well, and they're all rentals?
they're all rentals. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like having a townhome rental is definitely beneficial more than a single family home.
Yep.
I mean, everybody wants single families, but they tend to be like super expensive. You don't get the HOA that covers the exteriors and all that fun stuff. I think definitely having a rental from a townhome is going to benefit you way more than a single family, that's for sure.
That's how we feel. That have some people like,
Yeah.
especially back in like 2010, my brother got really into flips. So he'd buy these really cheap houses, flip them, and then make all this money. Or he did rent out a couple of them too. But now he switched to a lot of townhouses because of, you know, you don't want to have to be in charge of the lawn or something. You could get a lawn care company. It's all about, it's really about the cash flow you're making on the property. I think the most we make on a rental is $700 a month on one of them.
Okay.
After paying everything, association, mortgage.
That's really good after, like
That
you said,
adds up
after
so
paying all your
quick, though.
expenses.
It does.
Yeah.
We do put it in a bank account just so we don't see
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
And then we either use it for fixing up stuff or to buy the next
Your
one.
next one.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we don't even see
And you have
those.
5
Yeah.
of those?
We have 5.
How much would you say, and you don't have to answer this, but how much would you say you make off of all of your investment properties?
Just looked at it the other day. 700, 400. I have 2 400s.
That's crazy.
I think we make like 2,500 a month.
Okay.
2,500 a
And
month.
that, what do you, like you said, you use that to like roll over into another investment property, obviously.
Yeah.
How do you, I guess, because you're big in, like you're a real estate agent, so
Yep.
you sell homes. How does that benefit like your investment properties from you making commission and actually selling houses to like what you use for your personal life and then what you use for investment life?
If I'm getting your question right, like can I help people like invest? Do you mean that or?
Yeah, I mean like how do you I guess have them split up so much, because with if somebody had 2,500 coming in from I guess passive revenue, you know, a lot of them would take it and use it for their personal life.
Oh, yeah,
How do you keep it like completely split and like make sure you're not touching that stuff?
I have all my mortgage payments go to a bank account that I just don't touch in a different, like I have my main Wells Fargo bank account that's super easy to touch. And then I have all that go to TrueStone. And I just don't touch it unless I need it for repairs or if it builds up so much and then I can use it for another place. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a great
We
answer.
try to take as much money, like as much cash as we can and then buy another one instead of worrying about like the debt part. Does that make sense? I leverage debt,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, leveraging debt. When you say that, like the more like there's good debt and bad debt, obviously. So like the more good debt you have, I guess like the happier you are. Like if, in a way, I guess.
Well, I think we both have, or my credit score was 827 and Ben's was 825, so I beat him. But like, because we have so many things we're paying on every month, so our credit scores are just amazing, you know.
Yeah.
And can get any kind of loan or any kind of card we want. We obviously don't want to, but
the more debt you have that you're paying off monthly and like you're staying on top of your payments, the better your credit is, obviously. But you still have a shitload of debt that you have to pay off still.
Yep.
Yeah.
But another thing is too, like, I'll have some of those rentals paid off in like 15 years, you know, or less.
Yeah.
And then I'll just have straight cash coming in every month.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the way the rental prices are going up every month,
they're crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Another thing Ben and I do is that we'll tell people, hey, our renters, we pick our own renters. We do it all of ourselves because I've done a rental company before, and I just feel like I'm very bad at delegating, which I should get better at and free up my time. But I love picking them. And then not only that, we get a relationship with them. We end up selling them their house when they go to buy. We'll say, we'll let you out of your lease if you use us early anytime. If you use us. If you don't use us, we'll still be fine. But, you know.
We're not going to hate you, but you still got to pay out the rest of your lease or whatever. That's a good idea. That's a good way
to look at it.
We just sold, and we developed such a good relationship with our last couple that was in our Maple Grove one. They were there 5 years, and we were just close to them, and they ended up buying a house in Robbinsdale in the fall, and we said, oh, you can get out of your lease, we'll help you. And
we just find new renters next.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, you've definitely got a big handle on the investment game, more than a lot of people do.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. What's that?
It's a passion of mine. Like, it makes me happy to, like, when can I do the next one? It's not even about the money. It's about, like, the risk.
The risk,
like,
the competition. I mean,
we make this work?
I'm the person, like, the like, junkie that could go on every roller coaster. Like, I just want the
adrenaline.
I was in an emergency room for 10 years.
Right. That should give you the answer right there.
Yeah. Adrenaline.
I get it.
You're going to have like 50 in like 10 years.
I hope so.
That would be awesome.
The goal.
Is that the goal?
Yeah. Well, now we're at the point where the ones that we bought 5 years ago, we can 1031 exchange them into like a duplex, a fourplex.
Which is super nice. Oh my gosh, that's a big
Tax-free.
benefit. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're definitely ahead of the game on all that stuff.
No kidding.
So you built your house in St. Michael. Did you use JP Brooks Builder? Talk a little bit about that, because it's like, they said no.
No, it's not that. So yes, my brothers.
Yeah.
JP of JP Brooks Builders. He's a builder, and he builds about like 200 homes a year.
Okay.
No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
He's just an amazing person, the best person. Like, his business is all about giving away money and making all the people he works with, bringing them value and bringing them more money for their homes. Like, he cares about the people he works that work under him. That's why he's had the same people on his team for 15, 20
Because they love their
years.
job. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, JP Brooks. I was going to build with them in Monticello, actually, because my parents live in Maple Lake, so I just want to be close to them because they're on a lake.
Right,
And we'd like to jump up there when we have an hour in between showings.
Oh my
bring the
gosh,
kids.
so nice.
Yes. So we were going to build with him in Monticello, but his plan that we wanted, it was a Rambler. It didn't fit on the lot he had. So it just didn't work out that way, and I was so sad. We ended up building with Pulte, which is great, but...
Yeah, they're great guys.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah, so we ended up building with him, but maybe one day, because he will build. If you get your own lot, he will build on it too. So maybe one day we'll do that.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That's good to know. What was that? Because that's your first home you've built, right? You haven't built it.
Yeah, that's our first one.
Yeah. What was that process like? Was it scary? I mean, obviously you love the risk. We get that.
Yeah. I loved it. Our basement did flood twice the week before we moved in, but all new construction has its things. We probably do 10 new construction deals a year.
Yeah.
10 new construction deals a year.
Words are hard.
A deer.
Yeah, a deer.
And they all have their own thing that
Really?
something goes wrong. New construction is just the same as like existing in that way, is that there's not everything right. And you just have to be really good at getting to know new construction homes and what you have to look out for.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm currently in the process of my first new construction with my clients, and like it's so much fun to like learn all this stuff. But then like they say the same thing is like it's not a perfect home at the end of the day. Like shit happens, you know, things go wrong.
Who's the builder for that one?
Remind me, you're gonna punch me in the face.
Lennar,
I can't remember.
M&I.
MI Homes. Yep.
I like
Yeah, they're great. They're
a good job.
They're fun to work with. I mean, they're open communication, so like they've been great to work with so far.
Good.
So, yeah, but
What
I'm
was,
excited for
the
it.
number one thing you wanted in your build?
Ooh, that's a good question. We chose our house because the primary suite is like dope. Like
It's
our
super
own
big.
closets,
Yeah.
like a room off of our room. There's like a little extra room
Like a
on our,
sunroom type thing.
kind of like that,
Really?
yeah. And then we have a butler's pantry, which I really wanted my whole life.
That's so nice.
But I built up to this, you guys. When I
Yeah.
remember my first house was a little tiny townhouse,
Yep.
and I built up. So
Yep.
like everyone, like I did a lot of work to get.
You did your due diligence
Yeah.
on this home.
But I don't
get
want
it.
anyone to think like I just need a new construction home now. Like no,
Just
first
wait.
put your investment needs.
Yep.
Literally grind. Like Ben and I were so poor our first like 2 years of real estate that we would either eat red chili or white chili every night
Really?
because beans were so cheap. And
Yeah.
then and we could ask our parents for money, but we didn't want to.
Yeah, you want to do it on your own
wanted
and
to do it on our
build your own stuff. I get it.
I've never heard of white chili.
What?
I didn't know
don't
there
think
was.
Chili
I
is
didn't.
so
I didn't know there
good.
was different colors of
Oh,
chili.
yes. Okay,
I
you
just
either
wanted
I
to
have
thought
like
chili was chili.
no ground hamburger with chili and beans, or you have chicken and like it with white beans and like a chicken broth.
What?
White chicken chili? You never had?
Never heard of
Never.
it.
All I know is chili's usually
Oh,
red.
now
Yeah,
I love
chili's red
cooking,
and-
so I'll bring
Okay.
some for you guys next
Sweet.
time.
That sounds like
and
a
some
plan. We can
sourdough
do
bread.
that. Oh, sourdough's
Sourdough,
good.
okay.
Yeah, I like.
I've heard of
you've had
that.
sourdough.
I've been. That's my newest venture right now.
The sourdough.
I don't have any time for it, but
Is it good for you or bad for you? Because like you go to the gym and like you're a
every
fitness
day.
person, right? Yeah.
That's why
Yeah,
you
that's-
text me. You're like, "Can we do this at 12:30?" I'm like, 2, so I can really weightlift today. No, yeah, I can't eat it really because I'm gluten intolerant. I don't know
yeah.
how much of this is real or not, but it's really good for the like people in your family to eat it because it has no sugar in it, so you're like I make it every day fresh. I know what chemicals
You know
are in
what's
there.
going in it.
Yep.
Yeah, I get you.
So my
I get
kids
you.
love it, but-
Can we talk about your gym journey or
for
everything?
sure.
What
I'm
is?
an open book.
Yeah, yeah. What is? I mean, how did you start in it? Like, did you always love the gym? Did you play sports growing up? Like,
I was a cheerleader.
oh, of course.
Can you tell? But it was funny because I was really a tomboy growing up. Like my mom couldn't make me wear dresses because I had brothers, and so
That's
like I
true.
would play with like army men and cars, and I played baseball too. So baseball and softball, and then cheerleading. I got into and gym. Like my brother was. I follow my older brother a lot because he was just so influential, basically.
Yeah. Just
but-
somebody you looked up to.
Someone I looked
Yeah.
up to, and he's 5 years older than me. And he had all the records in the gym room in our high school.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm like, oh, I gotta get some girl records on there. And for some reason, our family is we're super athletic. Like I have a cousin that made it to the Padres pro pitcher. I had a cousin that was Final Four MVP basketball,
Really?
Wisconsin Badgers player. My brother Josh, my older brother, went to the U of M for football.
Okay.
And my younger brother went for pitching to another college. So like we are all very
Just athletic.
athletic, and so really
Competitive.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
I could tell when you were talking about the credit scores. You were like, I beat him, and I'm like, it's
Yeah.
just a credit score.
No, I have to. And so, yeah, I started in high school. I started doing Olympic weightlifting, like raising the bar over my head.
Really?
And like, I started getting so competitive. So then
Jeez.
ever since high school, I've been gym 5 times a week or so.
Really? Good for you.
I'm really big.
Did you set any records at your high school?
Pull-ups, I did.
Nice. How many?
How many?
I don't remember. I think 30 maybe. I used to be upper body strength was crazy for me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I could
That's
probably get
awesome.
Now-
5.
Maybe
now I
five.
might be
get
able to
five
do
and I'm
2.
tired.
Like, yeah.
I'm
Well,
lucky to get
you've had
5.
like 2 kids. You're a business
Yeah,
owner. Like you've got
36.
you're 36. Like life's
Muscle
getting in the
stops
way.
After 28, it's like,
Yeah, like, yeah, we're done.
I feel it. I'm only
You're not there
20.
yet.
Like, oh my gosh, I love that.
So you're a team leader, kind of.
yeah, well, I own my own team. Yeah.
How did you get into that? How did that start?
I'm really, really lucky. I feel like Max was like this too, just from knowing you. Like
Yeah.
I picked you out at school and I was like, you're this kid that I
You really
was.
did. Yeah.
Where like, after high school, especially college, and then at the hospitals I worked at, I'm such an outgoing person and I talk to everyone. I get to know everyone that when I started my own real estate business, I was so busy. People were waiting for me to get my license. So
Really?
one person waited a year for me to get my license, would not buy a house with someone else. So the month that I started, I had 3 closings.
Oh my gosh,
And then I capped my first year at KW, and that was like a lot to cap.
16,000 or something like that.
No,
Maybe
it was
20
23 when I
Yeah.
started.
Oh my gosh.
So I capped there, and then I never made a cold call in my life. I am 100% sphere and referral based, and so I just got so busy that I had to pull my husband, and now him and I are a team. We really should have someone else too,
Yeah.
but we're really bad at delegating, like I said, and I have so many things that I like to do for my clients to make them like feel special or just bring extra to
Right.
our business, and I just don't trust anybody else to do that like
That's
we
true.
do.
I get you.
Yeah, and so that's why I have a team, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know. I've always had it's always been Ben and I since the first year of real
Right.
estate.
Now you just have a name under it, and
Yeah,
like it's,
and
it's your thing now.
I gave him the name, so it was Troxel team because I was Pomerlow for
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
you know. And so, because we weren't married when we started the team, I put
Right.
it all underneath his name. So even though I was selling houses, I put it under his name. What a good way.
Ooh,
Huh?
that's a
So
a
when
pretty
you look
big
me up, you have
investment.
to
Yeah.
look me up as the.
Is it Pomelo?
It used to be Pomerlow.
Pomerlo. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, so look it up that way if you want to find some stuff.
No, if you want to find stuff, you have to look me up under the co-listing and stuff. Even though they were like my
Oh,
listings,
okay.
but I gave him the recognition.
Yeah, I get
Good
it.
wife, huh?
Yeah, good wife. I mean, win-win, right?
I know, right?
Happy wife, happy life type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, happy husband, happy life. Other way.
So now you have 4 agents underneath you?
No,
No, just you two?
us two. Mm-hmm.
Where'd you get 4 from?
I thought you were like on a podcast now, and you got like
Oh
4.
no, those are my friends.
Oh,
they're
you
real
just-
estate
yeah.
agents too.
you just
They're
got your-
all at EXP, aren't they?
Yep, they're
Yeah.
all XP. I'm the only one that's not EXP.
Were you not paying attention in the first 5 minutes of our
No, I
conversation?
was. I was. I did hear 4, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
No, we should have someone else, especially a transaction coordinator. I love that part though.
Transaction.
Oh, I love that part.
You love doing
I love
transaction
dot
coordination?
loop, and I love. Oh yeah, I love that.
You're a psychopath.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
I know.
hate it.
I love
Oh my
it. And I
God.
love like commission board and stuff. But
Okay, commission board's fun. Those numbers are cool.
my husband loves purchase agreements. I don't do.
Yeah.
I've never wrote a purchase agreement.
Ever?
What?
Never.
And you sell how many houses a year?
Like 45-ish.
Do you ever tell your clients that?
No. I mean, yeah, some of them I go, Ben
Yeah.
writes it all. He'll call you and
Yeah.
I'll go on showings and I'll go, my husband's going to call you to go through the purchase agreement.
Well, like you're like the face of the team, and then he's like the behind the scenes
He's
type
the
guy.
brains of that.
Do you like
Oh
know
my
all of
gosh.
it though? Like probably obviously.
Pretty much
Like
8 years, 9 years in the business.
Yeah.
Like I hear it all day, every day. And
Yeah,
my
that's
husband
true.
teaches forms and
Yeah, that's true.
he's
and
like
he's
he knows every line in that purchase agreement by heart.
See, that's so cool. And then like you don't have to worry about it, and you just tell him what to write, and then like
That's the one way I delegate.
Yeah.
Like I am lead generation 100%.
Yeah.
And he's the purchase agreement writer. So, you know,
huh? That's good. I didn't know that.
yep,
That's super
I've never
cool.
written a purchase agreement.
Wow.
that's crazy.
That is crazy to think about, especially as a realtor. Like
I
not
love
ever
it because
having to
I
write a purchase agreement.
hate that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh. And it makes me so like I get so stressed out about it sometimes because I'm like I'm reading every single
you
line,
have to.
making sure everything is perfect, and it's like, well, if I miss something, then we're screwed.
I get a
Yeah.
little nervous sometimes.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh shit.
We've
maybe I
had
put an
people
extra
miss stuff
0.
that we've written into. Like we had an agent miss that we wanted a gas line made to the stove. We want a different stove in there, and then there was
Okay.
like 3 other things. The agent missed it because it was in the part of the form where you add it. But
Yep.
they they said we snuck it in there, but like no, you can't sneak nothing in a purchase agreement. You
No.
have to read every line.
Yeah, that's on you if you don't read every
No, and
single
it
line.
cost
like,
the bill. It was for a builder, and it cost the builder like 10 grand, and the builder was pissed. So, but they had to do
Ooh.
it because it was written in
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
Wow.
Because I had a feeling the agent didn't tell the builder so I made a final walkthrough like 2 weeks before, and then the second one after. But I went through and saw none of it was done, so I wrote, hey, you know. and
Just
they're
wanted
like,
to check
I did
in.
not know that stuff was supposed to be in there. I'm like, oh, that's not my fault.
That's not your fault. Yeah, it was
Got
in
my
the purchase
buyer's
agreement.
10 grand worth of work
Oh,
done.
that's
though.
so nice, though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. What a crazy story. So, oh gosh, I totally just blanked on my topic. I'm
think.
thinking, man. Just chill out. Give me a second.
You just need a shot.
Yeah, that too. Well, I'm underage. We got to
That's
do.
okay.
We got. Yeah, that's fine. We don't cut it out. Oh my God, what was it? We talked about the gym. We talked about your business. Talked about investing.
What's the
There
name
was-
of your podcast?
That's what it was. The podcast.
way.
Yes, it was. Yeah. So your
So-
podcast. Tell us about it.
It's called She Means Business
Love that
Minnesota.
title.
I didn't want it to be Minnesota, but the name was taken already, so I had to do Minnesota.
She Means Business was taken already.
Yeah.
I've never heard
And
of
it
it.
was like our favorite name by heart.
Oh,
I've
it's
never
an
heard
awesome
of it either.
name.
I
I love it. Yeah.
Because it's all the ladies.
Yeah,
you
it's all the
know? We're
ladies. You guys talk
ladies.
business. Like,
What do you want to know about it? Sorry.
just, what is it? Like, you've
Oh.
got 3 other hosts.
Yep.
They're all real estate
All real
agents.
estate
Do you guys specifically talk about real estate, or is it like, what are all the deets?
We talk about everything. So like we try to do a lot of real estate. Like we've had a couple lenders on. We do a lot because a lot of us are into rentals too and investments. So we talk about that. We had my brother on the show.
Oh, that's fun.
And no one can ever get him on their shows. So I got a little bit of a sister role there.
Okay.
Because people always ask him to be on podcasts and he says no to everyone because he doesn't like to
Ooh.
be out there
Yeah, he's kind of behind the curtain type
behind
of
the
guy.
curtain. Yep.
He's a busy guy too.
He's
when you build
busy.
200 some homes every year. like,
Yeah.
Literally.
And so I got him on there. But we talk about everything. We talk about life, everything to do with real estate, holistic stuff. Try to bring value to agents by teaching what we've done to make our businesses successful. And like with the last one we did, I think it was like what would we do if we were going to be a homeowner today? Like what stuff would we be working on? So
Yep.
yeah, just that kind of stuff.
That's super fun. Yeah, I know, or I knew the second like you posted about it and you're like, we're creating a podcast and this is like the first episode. I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good because one, the title is just amazing. I love it. It's so funny. And then obviously just talking about real estate because everybody wants to learn about real estate.
Yeah.
Is it shocking to you how many people don't understand real estate?
Yeah, especially like first-time home buyers. I'm educating every single one of them.
Yeah.
And I finally made a template that is questions for my first-time home buyers to bring up to them because they don't know what to ask me.
Really?
Yeah. So
That's good.
I do that to like kind of educate them because I'm like, there's the things you know. Here are the upfront costs. Here, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, this could happen. There's different appraisals. You know.
Yeah, I get it. That's fun. That's super cool. Good for you. That's
a cool way to look at it. Like give them like a question sheet.
Yeah. Half the time I'm like, come prepared with questions, anything you have. But then they're like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, here we go. I'll ask these questions for you.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Myself.
That's a good way to think about it. That's a good note.
it.
Not a lot of people do that.
No.
What would you say kind of sets you and your husband apart from other real estate agents and other companies that make you do what you do and make you the best?
We 100% care, put their needs first above everything, put our feelings on the back burner, do what's right. We always do what's right. Even like if there's some hard news we have to deliver to our clients, we're going to deliver it. Mm-hmm. We're honest. God's the center of our business too. Mm-hmm. So we try to just give back as much as we can to our clients and volunteer and give back our money and time and just.
How much would you say that you feel God helps you with your business and giving you deals and making sure people are taken care of?
100%. It's God because like there was times where I was kind of slow in real estate and I just like pray like, God, will you please bring us more business? And I promise like I'll like give back to you or like I'll start something like new charity or like something,
volunteer or something.
Volunteer and stuff. And he's came through every single time. So.
That's awesome.
And I feel like the more we tithe in church too, like the more we end up making the year. And I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm not trying because like that's not how it works, but it just ends up happening.
Yeah. It's just it's the way the ball rolls and it's like, you give your time to him, he'll give his time to you.
And that's why I ultimately like wanted to be a real estate agent in the first place is because so I can work as hard as I want to, make as much money as I want to if I work hard and I do the right things to give back and give to families and be able to just do all this extra stuff and have time with my kids.
Yeah.
That's such a great feeling. I had like a past client. She was like in foster care her whole life, first time home buyer. Like when I handed her the keys to her first ever home that she like got to call home, I was like, God, I haven't cried in a really long time.
Isn't that the best feeling in the world?
It's such a great feeling.
First time home buyers.
Like, they're awesome.
And when they have stories like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. I forgot about that one. I'm not going to lie.
Those are the best. And like you probably like, as real estate agents, we're 90% almost a counselor than anything.
Oh yeah.
Literally.
And being there for them and walking them through. And like I tell every single time I sit someone down for a new buyer meeting, I say, you're going to probably have 100 questions along the way. Just ask them. No question's a dumb question. I say, if there's ever a night you're sitting up with anxiety over like your house or a question about it, or if you're wondering, ask me because I probably have the answer that can solve it. So you're not going to be up all night worrying.
Yeah. And it just makes them sleep easier at night and like they don't have to stress about it. And I mean, it's the biggest purchase of their life.
Yeah.
Like, especially their first one is like, it's scary. It's nerve wracking. So like making sure they're taken care of is definitely the first priority in my opinion.
That's what I tell everybody. It's like, call me at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
I probably won't answer, but I'll get back to you when I wake up in the morning.
That's what
I promise.
That's what Ben like when we're doing like our buyer presentations or whatever, we'll say, I always go, he's up early, I'm up late. Text us at nighttime. We put our phones on silent when we're sleeping, so we won't text back if we're sleeping. But other than that, we'll get back to you. So
that's awesome.
We're constantly working. We're workaholics. So
that's okay.
You got to stay busy, right? I mean, 2 kids isn't enough. Like having a new bill is enough. 5 investments isn't enough.
No.
Got to be busy.
Every time, I didn't tell you, but the first 5 years of real estate, I had 5 jobs. So my first 5 years,
Really?
I was so busy in real estate, but I still worked in the emergency rooms, and then I did 2 social media jobs. So
Oh my gosh.
I'm obsessed with working.
Good for
You're
you.
never gonna
Props. Yeah, you're not gonna retire.
That's how my dad is.
Yeah.
He retired 2 months ago, but
He needs to find something to do.
oh, at Chadda's church,
Yeah.
he's part of this mission where he just goes around fixing up people's houses all day long in the Buffalo community.
That's awesome.
For him.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least it gives him something to do. He's
Something
busy.
to do all
Yeah.
day long.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
And then he watches my kids when I'm like, Dad, I need you last minute.
I wouldn't say that's a bad trait to have.
No,
I mean, you're a workaholic. Huh?
We're both ADHD central, and like people said we'd never make it in the real world. Like
Yep.
my mom was like, you had at least 5 teachers that told me that you wouldn't make it in the real world because you couldn't stop. Oh yeah,
Well,
I was
look
a
at me now,
talker, and
bitch.
they put. I know.
Yeah, look at me now, bitch.
No, they put me in the corner of the room because I talk. Can you tell?
Yeah.
Talker. So
Talker,
like,
yeah.
and my older brother was too. We both got told that like we weren't gonna make it in life and blah blah blah. And so they just didn't know how to deal with our personality. They were
Yeah.
used to one personality: sit still and read a book. You know. So yeah.
That makes sense.
You're
Oh
the
my gosh.
opposite.
I'm the very opposite. Like I have to learn hands-on, auditory a little bit, but school
Yeah.
was my. I was so bad.
It was terrible. It was
C's
so
get degrees,
bad.
man.
C's get degrees.
That's-
And
Oh,
That's so true. D's get degrees.
I
too.
went to an alternative school my last year of high school.
really? What was
Because
that like? Or like
It was
what is an
great. It
alternative
was just
school,
like
I guess?
college because
Huh.
like they
Oh,
let you
it's,
do. They let you do everything at your own pace. I could have stayed
Yeah.
at my school. I was doing fine. I
Yeah.
did have 200 detentions I had to do by the end of the year
200?
because I was always like 5 minutes late to class because I talked too much in the
Oh.
meantime. So I had 200 detentions, and they were like, if you go to this alternative school, you won't have. They'll get wiped off your slate and blah blah blah. And so I went to the alternative school, did PSEO because I couldn't. I had such bad grades in high school that they wouldn't let me do it at my high school. But if I went to this alternative school, I was
could
able
do
to
it
go
there.
to college. So I did it there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did PSEO for a year. Hated it.
Really, I liked it.
I didn't like it.
Oh.
I just wasn't a school guy. I don't know.
Me neither.
Not a lot. I don't think a lot of real estate agents.
I wasn't a
were.
math
No,
guy.
you were what?
I was never a math guy.
Oh, me neither.
History, I could
She
tell
won't
you
even get one
anything.
credit to get a bachelor's because she doesn't like math. That
that's-
says something.
I will not.
Yeah.
I could have my degree, but I won't because I don't want to do math.
I could tell you anything about history.
Oh, that's cool.
Good for you.
Amelia Earhart flew airplanes.
Is she still alive though?
Nope.
What did
Well,
you
maybe.
say? What did you say
never
the
know.
other day? It was something about like Helen Keller and Amelia Earhart. He got them mixed up. He's like, yeah, Amelia Earhart was deaf and blind. And I'm like, no, Nate.
It's not me.
Yes, it was.
No,
You
it
said
wasn't.
something about it.
It's probably Brady.
Okay, we'll blame it on Brady. But that was,
I know
it was
Amelia
so
Earhart
funny.
flies airplanes. It's definitely Brady because he thinks she was like fake or something. Like how are you deaf and blind and can write a
Oh,
book?
yeah.
I've heard so many
Yeah, I
of
was
those
like-
What's
things.
your take on it? Do you think she was real?
I'm a conspiracy theorist hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
So any conspiracy theory you bring to me, I'll take it legitimately. I'll be like, let me see this side. Let me see this side.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe they went to the moon. That's how conspiracy
Yeah.
theorist I am.
That's
and
funny. I like that.
I'm the same way with Helen Keller. I think she was made up by the government. I think she's a real person, but I don't know if she was deaf and blind.
Why don't you
She
think we
wrote a
went to the
book.
moon?
Oh, look into it, man.
I don't think so.
I actually saw a video on TikTok.
Yep.
Like 2 days ago. There was like a video of like the flag moving and everybody's like,
Yeah.
there's no air like
Yep.
in outer space. So how could the flag move? So they did a science experiment on it. It's like it was in like a container and they sucked out all the air. And if you like shake the box, the flag will still move. So your theory is busted now.
No, oh no. I could go. It would take so long. I'll start sending you my TikToks on all the stuff that I believe.
That's gonna be funny. I love
Who
that.
You're
wins the
gonna
Super
die.
Bowl then?
Oh, the Chiefs. The Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all about Taylor Swift and. Oh, I could go on.
What about the colors?
I'm like the person that doesn't like Taylor Swift. I mean, I don't dislike anyone.
Yeah, but, like-
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Well, fun. I'm a God person, so I don't
Right.
think any celebrity should ever like. I don't look at them like that. I'm like, oh, they do great.
Whatever. Good for them.
But
yeah.
I'm an only worship God. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
get
what were
that.
you saying? Colors?
Yeah, the
Oh, I
colors.
didn't look into that one yet, but I did look into like the Chiefs, the Kelsey thing,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Did you see the numbers?
Pfizer. All of them.
Like Taylor Swift's number, or like favorite number is 13. It's 13 hours from Japan to Las Vegas.
Oh my goodness.
Like it'll be Taylor Swift's 13th game in attendance for the Chiefs game.
Oh, wow.
Like everything goes to number 13. So like I don't know. I think it's hilarious. If I find it, I'll send it to you.
we just need Brock Purdy to win.
I'm
all it
a
is.
Brock Purdy
And
guy,
I don't
for
obviously
sure.
know because
Yeah.
I'm my husband and my son are football people.
Yeah.
I'm just like they're Packers, and I'm a Viking fan. So
From Wisconsin, it makes sense. Yeah. Do you guys have a
but
family
he
feud in
won
the
my
house then?
son over though.
Really?
Yeah, and he's stepdad, so
That's
he
true.
won my son over to Packers.
props
How's that
to
feel?
him.
I think it's so cute that
Yeah.
they're bonding over it. And football, I'm like,
And your daughter's a Vikings
I think
fan,
football's
right?
kind of rigged too. So
It is.
I'm like,
Agreed.
that's
Agreed.
why I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
why do I even care? I don't care.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. However, it's supposed to happen.
I do
anyways.
fantasy football though.
Oh, you do? Did you win this year?
I did win this year. My son and I were on the same team in our neighborhood league of $250. I let him take it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had such a great team.
You
No,
did?
didn't.
Oh.
He was terrible.
I did have a great team.
I had Jefferson, and then he was out half.
I had Justin Jefferson. I had Nick Chubb. I had
yeah.
Kirk Cousins.
Oh wow!
So 3 guys.
I love him.
I love
Hurt.
Kirk. Love
That's
Kirk.
someone I do love.
And then
Yeah.
by that
Brett
time, I mean, we had like 12 people in our thing, and nobody would make trades. So like,
Yeah, it was a rough
sucked.
league. It was a
Just
rough
say
league.
whatever.
I got to keep my money, so I don't care. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, that's all that matters.
Give up
But
$100.
we'll kind of wrap it up. But we got one more question for you, and we ask everybody at the end of the show is if you could tell yourself or somebody that was 25 at the time when you first started your career, or like if you went through a hard time, what would you tell them to keep on going and like keep working and
In
make
real
it through
estate
it?
or any career.
Anything in life in general.
If I could just tell you anything in life, save up all the money you make as a younger person and buy a rental property.
That's as simple as it.
As simple as it is.
Yeah.
Get a credit card when you're 16. Build credit. Save
Yeah.
up all your money. Buy a rental property. Wait for, become an insider in something.
Yeah, learn about it.
Learn about it. If you start young, you can retire by the age of when you're 50 and go on vacations the rest of your life.
Oh my gosh, that would be the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal. I love that. It's a
starting
great
young
answer.
is such like a crazy thing. Like the money hack.
Yeah.
If you're to like put like $100 in like, I think is it a Roth? Maybe it's just like I can't remember what it was, but if you start at like 20, you make like $2 million more dollars. If you were to start at like
25 or 30.
40 or something like that, it's crazy.
See, I'm lucky my mom started those for us because she was in that world. But coming from someone that's in both,
Yeah.
I've invested in both of them, and I started out with Roths and mutual funds and stuff early. I've quadrupled what I made in real estate investing over that stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah. Now I won't even touch this anymore. It will sit
Yeah,
there. My
it'll
husband
just sit
wants to
there,
touch
yeah.
it a little
Yeah.
bit, but I'm like,
Just let it be, man.
let's keep it there and let's
Yeah.
keep doing our rental thing because we're making 10 times as much.
You're 36. Like at the end of the day, you think you're old, like you're not
No.
old at all. Like
I know.
you've got so much time left if you just let it be. Like,
Yep.
oh my gosh, you're gonna make so much money. It's unbelievable.
I feel old.
Shut up.
You guys are both so young. I want to ask you guys
Yeah.
a question. Now I gotta think of what I was gonna ask you guys. Sorry, there was something I wanted to ask you though.
See, there's some going around in the air. You just lose your train of thought.
Chemtrails
Yeah.
got me started. There was something about real estate. I was gonna ask you. How are you liking your first 2 years of real estate?
It's a great question. I love it. It's hard at times, don't get me wrong. I thought it was going to be like license, phones ringing,
Yeah.
selling
Yeah.
30 homes, making $100K a year. No.
Everyone.
Everybody thinks that though.
Everyone.
Like
Yeah.
you watch the Netflix show Selling Sunset.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like it's not that. It's an absolute grind.
It's a grind.
But like it's been good. I'm glad I'm doing it. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But it's a grind.
Yep.
But
I would say, yeah, I guess the same thing. I mean, we both started at different companies, and like I think it's who you surround yourself with in this company is really where you're gonna thrive. To
I
be
agree.
honest with you, yeah, because there's been plenty of agents that I've met, and they're just like, lazy, kind of kicking around the can, and it's like you're not gonna go anywhere. And it's like you meet people like Brady and Nate, and like kids that are, or not even kids, I guess, but like people that are like-minded. Doesn't matter if they're 20 or 40 years old. Like, you and I match on the same wavelength just
Yeah.
because we have the same mindset and the same goals and those types of things. So
Mindset for sure.
yeah, oh, absolutely. The people you surround yourself with is definitely a big bonus in my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
But
10 homes a year, 40 homes a year. I'm gonna go hang out with those people over there.
yeah. Yeah.
That's like my brother's been my biggest mentor.
Yeah, and it's like who you hang out with really makes you who you are, in my eyes. Yeah. But yeah, no, we appreciate you coming out here. I would love to do a part 2 with you. You've got a great story, and it's only going to get better.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that is the MN Talk Show. And yeah, if you guys want part 2, feel free to comment, and we'll get Angela back out here for part 2.